I'm living in Toronto last 6 years. By profession wise, I am a chef. I am in this field last 15 years. Basically, I am coming from India. I was working in a good reputed firm in back home with good pay and various benefits. One of the Canadian employer sponsored me by giving like a fake promises on temporary foreign worker program. Before coming to Canada, I don't know anything about the temporary foreign worker program. My employer given me like many promises by telling me that $18.50 per hour, 5 days a week, 35 hours, vacation pay, health benefit, free food and accommodation. Basically for the chef, no need to pay for the food, but he used to charge me for that also. When I come to Canada, everything was totally reversed. Everything was totally reversed. He used to pay me just $8 an hour. He used to charge me, he used to give me just $8 an hour. No health benefit, no vacation pay, no airfare. And for the accommodation he used to charge me, and for the food also. For the health benefit, you have to wait for like 3 months. Before that, if something goes wrong, we have to pay on my own pocket. I used to work for like 12 to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. One day he used to give me off. If sometimes it is busy, he used to call me and I have to join with other colleagues. One day I become very sick. And I told my employer, and he told me, go and see the doctor. And I went and I paid from my own pocket as $50 per visit, and the prescription was separate, which have to be paid by me. And my employer didn't pay me a single penny for that. He used to harass me by abusing words and all. I can't able to continue with him. I worked for 3.5 months. Later on, I quit the job. So after 1 month, I got a good friend. I would say he's like an angel for me. He supported me to overcome this situation. To find a new employer. For that, he took an interview about me and put an ad on the newspaper to get LMO, labor market opinion. And he put an ad on the newspaper to get an approval for LMO from HRDC. Again, I apply for a work permit. Finally, I sent for a visa stamping. It takes around 8 months, the whole process. While that time, nobody knows what to do. Because for the LMO, it takes 3 months. For a work permit, again 3 months. And the stamping also for a couple of months. So our law doesn't say anything about this, what to do during that period, because we are not allowed to work for any other employer. It is illegal. So I decided I have to get the permanent residence. On 2009, I applied for a permanent residence on foreign worker, federal skilled worker program. During that time, it was like a point system. I think everybody knows. It's like a 67 points. It calculated like a age, qualification, experience, and the English proficiency, etc. Many of the friends didn't qualify for that, and they go back home. This all thing what teach us that the employer can misuse our system, violate our labor laws up to whatever extent. I want to talk about this program. This program is totally failed. It encouraged the corruption for the consultant and the middleman to make huge amount of money. And even though we can't able to trace these culprits, because they do cash transaction with no receipts, and finally the poor worker suffered because of lack of information from our system. And there is no proper enforcing mechanism. In my point of view, there should be like a single window policy in one umbrella, that a LMO and the permit, everything should be get from a one office, so that we can save our time, money, and energy. Before it was like a free for LMO. They used to charge like a $250. Now it jumped to like $1,000. The law says employer has to pay, but unfortunately it will be dumped to the poor labor, and he has to pay later on. And nobody knows who is going to enforce this. I want to say something about the stolen wages. When we have to collect the wages from our employer, the law says you can get only $10,000 from the Ministry of Labor. But that we fought about it really hard. And last week, that is November 5th, we changed the law so that there is no any cap limit. But still there is a 2-year limit period within which to get money back. But it should be 4 years so that workers can apply for their contracts are over. One more thing for 4 in, 4 out. From April 1st, 2015, migrant workers will be kicked out of this country who has been working for more than 4 years. Recently, one of my friends have been denied work permit who has been working for more than 6 years because of the recent changes in the immigration policy. We need some changes. What are the changes we need? I think that on arrival, we should get a permanent residence. Health benefit with no any waiting periods. Legal aid for all migrant workers. No fee for getting permanent residence and citizenship for all migrant workers. So how we are going to achieve this target? We need some organization. For example, like a MVAC. We should try to support them, to encourage them. Without doing this, we can't able to achieve this. So how to connect with this organization? First of all, you can try with your friends and families. try to involve in MVAC activities, connect each other like a city level, then later on province, and again we can go for a federally also. Visit our local MP, MPP to put pressure on them to raise the issue in assembly and the parliament, because the federal election is coming very soon. So we get like a good response from like various cities, because we are touring from last 1 week. We are visited like a Windsor, London, Peterborough, Hamilton, and Gulf, and finally Toronto. The people give good response. I think the same thing we will get from Toronto also. Without doing this, we can't achieve any target. Finally, I want to say one inspiring word about the Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, working together is a success. Thank you.